So Tommy told me a little bit about you that you're entrepreneurial. You got success minded. You a little crazy and risk taker, and you like to get things done. But I'd like to hear a little bit about you in your own words. Tell me, who you are, what you do, and we can go from there.
Alrighty, I'm ready. So Tommy, basically, what Tommy says is kind of right, except for the fact that I haven't really done a whole lot yet. I've always, talked about the entrepreneurial life and all that stuff, but there's people that talk about it, and then there's people that do it. And I just happen to be the person that is going to do it. Hopefully that is something that I do soon. And recently I was working at a bank, and I was working there full time, and I just recently put in my 2 weeks not that long ago. More than 2 weeks ago now, and my last day was last Friday. This week I'm just planning on packing up and all that stuff, and getting ready to move to the Bay Area with my buddy. And my buddy and I, my buddy Tyler, him and I are gonna do some investing. One thing we want to do is real estate investing. We've been looking a lot about how to either wholesale or flip a house, and we were looking at. We also talked to some realtors about it, and possibly getting our realtor license first and doing it that way. But that's just one thing. A few things I've always had in mind is I like to write down a lot of ideas. So I have a bunch of ideas that I save on my phone, and I hope that some of these ideas can get me somewhere. So I hope that I can bring light into some of them and actually create an actual business plan for these ideas. For example, one thing I like to do is I want to start maybe like an online e-commerce company. That's always probably the easiest way for me to get started, because it's little overhead. You're doing things online, so you don't have to spend the extra money on like getting an actual place and renting a place and selling it with a lot of heavy overhead. Yeah, definitely. So those are just some ideas, and I thought about maybe just starting a community website, whether it's maybe like online gaming. I'm a big nerd, and as much as I try to get away from the video games, it creeps up on you. Sometimes it is a lot of time consuming. It does suck away your life. So, I figured, if this is something that I do so often, and, I feel like putting it into a better use of it, if I could turn, the amount of time wasted into, just creating something better out of it. And, if I were to start like an online, maybe like gaming community website, that'd be like a great idea.
Absolutely.
Just, a lot of a few different things in mind. Nothing set in stone, but I'm always looking for opportunities to sure.
Absolutely. And what's drawing you to the real estate? Just because you had someone that did it, it looked like a good idea. What's really getting you down that path?
So the first thing that I thought about when I thought about real estate was the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I'm sure many people have read that book, and I'm not sure if you've read it either.
3 times. I said I've read it 3 times.
That's it? Only 3 times?
I mean, it's good enough.
That's plenty of times. And once you read it one time, it does kind of get you, unless you are already in that mindset, it does give you a different perspective of I guess, business and life in general, and how you want to live. You know, being in the entrepreneurial mindset, being in the investor type of person, and you know, not working so hard for someone else. You know, and that's something I've always wanted to do. You know, work for myself, and you know, Robert Kiyosaki, the writer of that book, he one of his biggest successes is real estate, and so you know, we went to a few of his real estate classes, and you know, learned a little bit about that, and you know, we also done some real estate you know, learning online, and it just opens up a bigger picture, and right now the real estate market is going up, so it's a good time to invest in it. I wish I was able to invest in it a few years back when houses were really low. Unfortunately, I wasn't as smart back then.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so that's probably that's one reason that, you know, we want to do this. Also, you know, learn the way that they did it. You know, learn the way that they put the houses and all that stuff. Try to get the deals. So, and real estate, you know, selling one house can make you a lot, and it's definitely a good benefit. If you make one deal happens, you know, you can pocket a couple thousand to, you know, even 10 or 20, and definitely that to me is is interesting.
Yeah, no, I fully understand, man. And when you start like evolving your mindset and you start realizing that, dude, there's so much opportunity out there, it's insane. Like when you can start seeing the opportunity, you start. I mean, Rich Dad Poor Dad was probably one of the first books I ever read, and started to evolve my mindset and change me to think a little bit differently. Absolutely. And I say this a lot, man, but when your mindset starts to shift and you start realizing, man, I ain't paying you nothing at a job to just stand around when they're making a killing. It's time to make a change, and jobs are paying less because supply and demand, you know, naturally, you know, jobs are disappearing. So that means more people are fighting for the same jobs. But why would a company need to pay you, you know, high wages? Because there's more people they can hire right behind you. And they just announced that this is the lowest that unemployment rate has ever been. So that's kind of cool for job market. Like, you know, there's more jobs being created now, but it's not going to last that way forever. You know, with the new IT tech and all of that kind of stuff, jobs are going to start going away. Walmart just announced that they're using robots now to scan the floors for outages. So that's, you know, that many less jobs that Walmart's going to need to provide to you. You know, the biggest retailer, or the biggest job person, the biggest job employer, there you go, the biggest employer in the, at least United States, maybe the world, is getting ready to cut some of its employees.
Yeah, that's definitely it is, and it is definitely a rough thing indeed. And you know, because you know, look at what happened back then. You know, all the jobs are being replaced by robots, and you know, just unfortunately, you know, a lot of it also, you know, is replaced overseas. You know,
absolutely.
And yeah, so and you know, when I think about it, one thing is like, you know, you're putting a value in yourself when you choose to work in a position, working X amount of hours. You know, you're putting that value in yourself. You know, unless you're doing something else on the side, you're saying that this is how much you're worth an hour, and and most of the time, you know, the cost of living is so high, and I know, you know, moving in the Bay Area, the cost of living is just tremendous, and how people can survive with such low wages is I don't know. I've been blessed. I've been lucky to live with my parents, you know, still, and you know, paying them a small amount of money in rent, and just working and saving up. But there comes to a point where when you look at either your future, you start to worry. A few things that I worry about is when I was working was what is my cap, and is my 401k going to be able to support me in the future? Because you never know what happens. The cost of living always goes up. Then look at schools these days, and how affording college was so easy, and now in order to go to a university, a lot of people have to either take out a student loan, and
100%.
And so it's not. In the end, when you're done with that degree, you hope to get a job. Is your job going to be able to pay off that loan that you've taken out? And it's
usually no.
Yeah,
it takes years.
It is a vicious cycle.
100%.
Yeah. So.
Well, you know a little bit about me. I run a media marketing company. I've been an entrepreneur since day one, but I graduated with your brother. I'm now a full-time entrepreneur myself, running a media marketing company and a consulting business. But, how can I help you, man? Like, I usually ask that for a lot of people because I've got a lot of stuff that I've done through and a lot of things that I've tried. I've created an online shop at one point in time. I've talked to even more people, gone to Grant Cardone seminars. I actually might go to one tomorrow in Las Vegas. But, so, I mean, you name it, I've done it. I've read basically every book that's on self-development, personal development. And I'm in a Damon John networking group today, where the inventor of FUBU on Shark Tank. And, there's a lot of things that I sales my whole life, but what is it, man, that you need? Like, what is stopping you from going to the next level? I understand you're taking that step right now. I understand that you're getting ready to risk it all and move to the Southern California and start, trying something new and elevating your life a little bit. But how can I ensure or help you down that path?
I would say, one thing that I would like advice. I mean, I feel like this is more of a personal mentality thing, but how do you overcome procrastination? How do you stay on the right track at all times? Because I believe that one of the biggest issues I think in almost everyone's everyday lives is just getting off track, so often, and you forget what you really want until you. So yeah,
I understand, man. It's discipline, right? So that sucks. It's hard to do. I'm very much was undisciplined, but I'm in the process of training myself. So there's a couple of things that I do, and then I'll kind of back up and explain it in a second. But there's a couple of things that I do to ensure that I'm on topic at all times. Like every morning I'll get up and go to the gym. I'll start the morning. It sucks, but I'll wake up in the morning. I'm trying to get up early and earlier. So right now I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and going to the gym. So it starts off my day with getting my head going and think tank and my blood pumping and going. And then I'll pull out my book, and I have it's actually funny, a Deathly Hallows Harry Potter book, because I'm a nerd too. And the night before, I write down, I spend 10 minutes before I go to bed, and I'll write down everything that needs to be done for the next day. And sometimes it doesn't get done. Sometimes it does. Who knows? But, I'll just roll it over and check and keep on track of little projects and tasks that I need to do throughout the day. Now, on top of that, man, there's a book that I'm reading right now by Jason Capital. Okay. He wrote a book called High Status. And what he talks about is Jason Capital's kind of, if you go Google him, he's more of like a how to get girls guy. But when you get into his like seminars and mentorship groups that I've done, he's more talking about business and high status and building relationships with people and becoming successful. So his personal facade is getting girls. But in his book, he talks about finding your mission, your true destiny, your high status purpose in life, right? And you have to peel off the onion. You have to peel off the layers and start finding this. So really what you need to do is you need to start getting going. You need to find something, dude, that you're excited about, because I feel like that was my problem in entrepreneurship when I first started. Dude, I just hopped from idea to idea to idea. A lot of them, from MLM company to network marketing company to sales job to this to that to an online Shopify store to creating my own store for selling cell phone cases. Man, I've done it all. Yeah, like I've done it all. Like eBay shops, flipping stuff on eBay, and I all of it turns into the same thing: procrastination, unexcitement, all of that stuff. But when it turned around and I found something that I was pumped about, that I genuinely like doing, that's what really started it. Now, you might only genuinely like doing it for a little while, but you might be pumped about it too for a little while too, right? And when you start getting going and you start creating something that you're pumped about and excited about, that's when you start finding your layers of the onion, right? So I was pumped about the cell phone cases when I started it, but it was peeling off layers. And each time that you switch from one idea to the next, it's not a loss. It's a learn, right? So you didn't lose. You might have lost money, but that's okay. You learned a valuable lesson that nobody in this world can teach you but that experience. So you take those and you just keep going forward, Eventually something will click with you as long as you don't give up. Like for me, it was about a few months ago, I decided that I wanted to help 100 million entrepreneurs or 100 million people become entrepreneurs down their journey, right? So that's what I'm doing with my marketing company. I'm using my marketing company, creating it and developing it, that I've been doing for years as a freelancer, helping people work with me in my company, as well as creating a personal brand and development where I can teach and train individuals and do phone calls like this to help people down the path of success. So that's what really gets me going in the morning. Like, dude, I know there's somebody else out there that I can help. I know that there's somebody else that I can talk to that has questions from somebody who's done something like this, you know? So it's like, man, I'm not no megalo success. I'm not no multimillionaire. I'm not, you know? But the thing is I've burned and turned. I've been through those experiences that nobody can teach you, that, nobody, it can teach you at the very least. So that way I can kind of help guide down that path. So that's kind of my answer is burn and turn. Just keep going until you find something that's, I mean, we're young. Yeah, we're young, man, at the end of the day. Exactly. We're young, man. What are you, 25, 26?
25.
Yeah. So you're 25, man. Well, I'm 24. We have so many years left to just sit down and fuck up. We could sit here and we could just do stupid shit and just keep fucking up for the next 10 years and we're still young. We're 35 and now we have all of, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just like sit down and grind. But this is what I'll say for a lot of people. This is what I'm so happy that I started doing. Document the process. Create a personal brand for yourself, because that will pay you dividends for long term. So I tell this, I talk to this about a lot of people, right? Get a personal website just for yourself. Your first name, last name.com, get it creating good, or go to, like not MySpace, Blogger or WordPress.com and create a personal website. And what you should do is you should teach what you've learned. Maybe the videos suck. Maybe the blogs suck. Who cares, right? But somebody will find value in what you've done. And eventually what will happen is you'll create this personal brand over the couple of years. This is actually personally what I did, right? So I created this personal brand for the last 3 years over LinkedIn, Facebook, all social media, grew multiple social media channels to over 15,000 followers on Instagram. And I just was giving value. And naturally what happened is all of a sudden it snowballed into, now I own a media marketing company. And when you create this personal brand that you have no intention of monetizing up front, you can use that as an engine later on in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to these people who have a connection with you to drive traffic to anything that you choose, right? You start a business like your gaming business that you like so much that you're talking about, right? All of a sudden you can start sharing your gaming content on your personal brand where you have followers free of charge, no paid advertisement, no marketing costs. Then you can go from there, right? Yeah. Teach real estate as you're learning real estate. It's altitude, right? It sets you apart. It creates you, it turns you into this expert of people will look up to you. And when you're creating value to the world like that, people will read that blog post or read whatever it is, right? And they'll come to you and say, hey, look, I might have an opportunity for you. Or they'll say, you know, like, I want you to help me, or something like that, right? And doors open magically when you have eyeballs on you. It's insane. Like, since I started doing this podcast, I posted maybe 4 or 5 of them. I've had probably 30 people now that I haven't even had time to post, of interviews of people just questioning like this, of like, hey, like, how can you help me? Like, kind of thing, you know? I have a guy probably tomorrow, that wants to do a phone call with me that made $300,000 a year in sales for the last 3 years. And he wants to just chat, you know? Exactly. So it's like doors start to open when you start creating content. And that's it. You just give. That's what I would say. Does that answer that question?
Wow. Yeah. That's a really good advice. And you know what? I definitely have heard that before. And it's definitely something I should do, where, you know, I just brand myself and, you know, create my own name, create my own website with my own name. Definitely record everything that I do. I think that would be very, very valuable indeed. And it just, you know, just takes a lot of peeling the onion as well. And I guess maybe I don't input enough of different ideas and try different things, and you know, whether I don't finish and fail or whatever. I guess that's one thing that I need to do, is just keep trying new things and you know, implementing.
Just burn, like I said, man, I like that term. I usually used to use it for sales, but burn and turn. Just keep going. burn and turn. It was like a thing I used to do for leads when I was working over the phone sales. I was burning and turning. I was going as fast as I can, trying to make as many phone calls as I could. You know, I was trying to close as many deals as fast as possible. And it's the same thing here, man. Just try to learn everything that you possibly can, take in every bit of information and facts and knowledge that you can possibly get your hands on before your head starts to blow up.
Yeah.
And then eventually something will spark your interest. And then you'll never procrastinate ever again.
It definitely is how you get good at sales, is keep burning and turning.
I agree.
Yep, I definitely learned that from my previous job, and also, you know, I've done a little bit of a multi-level marketing before, and at first, you know, it worked out tremendously well, and you know, we had a huge team, and eventually I decided to take a different path and join a different marketing company, and that kind of made the team that I had lose trust on me, and kind of broke apart from there and fell apart from there. But yeah, it definitely was an experience. And I guess, you know, it having that lack of interest kind of just put out the fire too. And that's definitely something that I need to do, is, you know, find things that interest me, like you said, and keep peeling that onion and keep burning and turning.
That's the power of the internet, man. Because you can do anything you want.
True. Yep. The internet is basically, the internet has provided so much, you know, so many different opportunities in the world, and it's shaped us in so many different ways, that when we really think about it, it's insane how much it's influencing everyone's lives, you know, globally, and
it's not even slowing down.
Nope.
You know? with the new evolution of cryptocurrency, man. Like, think about it. Everything is changing. The paradigm shift is happening, and the World Wide Web is becoming the next new world order.
So I know that, and indeed. I know that I Tommy likes to do some stock, buying and selling stocks, and I think one of the things that he looked at was cryptocurrency stocks. What is your input on cryptocurrency and all the different kinds of cryptocurrency, and like which ones are best and why? And for me, it's still kind of puzzling. I'm still I haven't learned a whole lot about Bitcoins or any of that. I did a little bit about what it took to mine Bitcoins and all that stuff, and it was kind of expensive, to get like an actual really good program out there. Well, what's your input on cryptocurrency? I know that it's definitely something you talk about.
Yeah, yes, sir. So I'll start here, man. Like, your brother is super smart when it comes to crypto, my friend. Like, I sit here and I'll talk to him on Facebook. Like, he'll give me calls and stuff. He's making a killing, and if he stopped being an idiot, he'd make so much more money. And you can tell him I told him that. I love the dude. Like, okay. But he's made swing trades where he's made $5,000 in a day. In a day. I don't know if he's ever told you this stuff, but he's made $5,000 in a day, and then he'll just fall asleep, and then he'll lose half of it. Just because he's like, it's like, I don't care.
He talks about it all the time. it's happening.
Yeah. Oh, I know. He's usually sending me screenshots. I get all of them. Your brother is killer at it, and I don't want to take credit for it because he did it. He actually followed the same path. I went and followed. My alarm was going off. I was going to say my alarm was going off. So I was like, huh? What? It's 8:00 already. Anyways, he followed the same path as I did. I started out trading penny stocks, lost a shit ton of money, and so did he. Right? We watched a lot of the Timothy Sykes trainings and Tim Grittani trainings, and they teach you how the markets move a little bit, right? Penny stocks and how cryptocurrency move are very similar, and so we applied what we learned. And I don't know if he's made more money than me or not, but he's definitely had an opportunity to make more money than me. I've made close to $30,000 in Bitcoins, cryptocurrency, in close to 6 to 10 months now. So in less than a year, I can say less than a year, I've made close to $30,000 in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, right?
Some people's salary right there.
Exactly. And that's just kind of goofing off, man. Like, that's just having fun. Like, I took some extra money that I had and just started trading, and I was shouting it out on Facebook, and Tommy just was like, dude, okay, you're making money. And then all of a sudden he hopped in, and then boom, at the same time, me and Tommy were making a killing. Like, me and him, like, cause I was calling it out, like, dude, let's go. And I hadn't talked to Tommy in forever. Like, almost since high school, right? And then he started commenting on it, like, dude, what the hell is this? He's like, I know of it, but I don't know, right? And I was like, dude, bye. I was like, we can answer questions later. Just do this shit. And he hops in, he keeps going, and he turned, I want to say, like 5,000 into 10 or 12 in the course of a week. And this was back in May 2017, right? So this was back in May, and somewhere around the end of May to June, he hopped on board. And that's when I made my first $6,000 online, 7,000 on crypto, like, from that trade, but my biggest trade. And ever since, he day trades a lot harder than me. I was day trading for a long time too, turning, the money I made there into profits and turned it into mining hardware. Made a bunch of money on mining, then sold the hardware for a profit, and then reinvested it right back into Bitcoin right before that jump. So I bought into Bitcoin right around $4,000, and then turned it from 4,000. Now it's 7,400, and I rode it all the way up. So I almost doubled my accounts again. And that time I had 10 grand in there, right? Mm-hmm. So I had $17,000 in my account before I pulled some of it out like last week. So it's a huge opportunity, right now. It's not going to be an opportunity like this forever. But when you have the mindset to understand what's going on, and you have the eyeballs to look at a chart and understand what the aura and the atmosphere is around it, like you can feel what people are thinking, you can believe what people are believing, you can feel the gist of what's going on, and then you can check yourself out emotionally, saying, dude, I'm not going to trade with my emotions, but I can understand what other people's emotions are. Then you can start making money. And that's when your brother started having a lot of success, is when he stopped being so freaking emotional about his money and like, oh my God, I'm going to lose it all kind of mindset. He's just like, now he talks about it all the time. He's like, it's just fuck you money. He's like, I don't care. He's just like, it's just fun coupons at this point. He's like, I'm just goofing off with the shit. And now that he doesn't care, he makes incredible choices. But at the same time, he's got to a point where it's like, fuck you money, like doesn't care so much that he blows it away sometimes. He's paid like $80,000 in fees to an exchange and still turned a massive profit. If he would just play a little smarter, he'd have $80,000 in the bank right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's insane, man. He has good calls. He just has bad execution.
Yeah.
And that's an opportunity for him. He's creating himself a brand around it. Out of college, he's creating a group on Facebook where he's just putting out value and creating an aura and an atmosphere around him. And I keep, talking to him like, dude, why aren't you creating yourself a web blog? Why aren't you doing this and teaching this stuff? Because I have a client for my media marketing company who's a Bitcoin consultant. He charges $150 an hour to consult people on the basics of Bitcoin. And he makes a killing. And now that his website's been created, I charged him $6,000 to redesign his whole website. Now that his website has been created and the email system's been created, he's going to make so much more money. Yeah. And he's going to make a killing on that. A killing.
Didn't know.
It's interesting. When waves start to move, man, when people's interest gets piqued, when things start to happen, that's where you should be. Right? That's where you should start learning or becoming an expert in the field. Like it was somebody, I don't remember. It was in a book, right? So what you do is you figure out where the market's at that time. And then you set yourself in front of that market with like goods or services because that's where the market's at. And you just market the shit out of it and sell it because that's what people want. And when people want it, they buy it. They have no question. And right now, like, it's my joke, right? So I posted this on Twitter. Any news article that does not have the word Bitcoin in it is off topic. And that's basically it anymore, man. Like any article that's going around, that's how insane it is. Japan just recently announced that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is a legal tender, a legal way that you can spend money in the country, in Japan. There's 5,000 stores as of 6 months ago, 5,000 stores in Japan that accept Bitcoin as payment. Think that through real quick, right? And Bitcoin has a total market cap of, so many Bitcoins. Like there's not enough Bitcoins in this world for every Canadian to have one Bitcoin. So as of that, how many more people in the world are there, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is that Bitcoin is naturally going to go up in value more and more and more as more and more people get involved. And this year has been huge in the last 6 months. Now, that 6 months is not going nowhere. I mean, John McAfee says Bitcoin's going to go to $500,000. It's now at 7K, man.
Really? Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I definitely want to, look more into cryptocurrency. It is very interesting watching my brother trade, and I definitely want to learn more about that. And yeah, when I move to the Bay Area, which is very soon, Monday is when I'm supposed to be leaving, and I don't have a job. I haven't found a job. I stopped looking. I was looking for a job, and then I stopped looking for one. It's funny. Bank of America just called me, and I should have answered as courtesy, but I didn't pick up the phone on purpose. On purpose. My thing is the 8 hours that I'm going to be spending down there should be on myself. Should be on myself. Should be on my entrepreneurship. Not spending 8 hours at the job.
So, I love it as long as you have a little nest egg, a way to support yourself for a little while, man. Because that's what I have to do, right?
Yeah, I do. That's one thing. One thing that I was that was one thing that I was considering. Is can I survive if things don't work out? And a good thing is since I do have some money saved up, I can survive for a while before having to look for a job without being in the desperate side. And
we're so young, we could start over, right? That's the same thing with me, man. Like I when I first got started, going full entrepreneur, I had enough money to pay my bills for 3 months. 3 months in advance, I paid all my bills. Let me tell you what, man, there's nothing more than like knowing that if it's up to me, it's meant to be. There's nothing more that will light a fire under your ass than understanding that, dude, you have 90 days to figure this shit out, or you have to go back to a fucking job that you hate. Right? There is nothing more in this world than taking that step and saying, you know what, I'm free. And man, that is the most empowering feeling that I've ever felt in my life. Like, I called my friend 6 hours ago, and I was like, dude, hey, Grant Cardone is doing a seminar in Las Vegas tomorrow, and we can get tickets. He's doing a fucking deal on them where I can get the tickets in February and the ones tomorrow for $1,000 for 4 total tickets. And he's like, what? He's like, $250 a ticket. And I'm like, yes, I'll pay for them. And my buddy's like, but I got to work. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Call in sick. Like, I don't, there's no, like, dude, I could literally pick up what I want to do right now, and I could go to Vegas, be on a plane tomorrow morning and go to Vegas. There's nothing stopping me anymore. Yeah, like, but not knowing, dude, there's, like, being able to decide that I want to get up at 6 and go to the gym, or, you know what, I don't feel like it today. I want to go to the gym at 10. Yeah. And like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. But at the end of the day, you need, like, the freedom, dude. Like, you have to understand how much that is worth. Like, the freedom is worth so fucking much. Like, that you need to put in every second of your day, and you need to generate just as much wealth to pay for that freedom. Yeah. Like, there is nothing better in this world, like, in this. Like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now, because that's how incredible it really is. And knowing, like, when you start feeling the empowering feeling, like, you probably haven't gotten that yet, of knowing that you can do it, like, you found it, like, you know that you're going to succeed in this. Like, that's how I felt in my marketing company, because I've been doing it forever, right? When you get that feeling of, I know that this is it, like, I can succeed, man, everything changes. Yeah. It's the confidence. It's you walk differently. Like, you have this straight back. People look at you differently. They look at you and go, holy shit, who is that guy walking down? Like, people, I'm the same dude in the inside, but people notice my confidence now, the strength, the power of my words, because I know that I'm not owned. Nobody owns me anymore. Yeah. You are your own. I do need me. Yep. I'm 24. You are the owner of yourself. I'm 24, man, and as long as nothing unforeseeable changes, and I still keep creating clients and all this stuff, it never needs to change. Like, I'm happy and content and excited and empowered every day, every morning, that's it, man. And that'll happen. That's why I want to help entrepreneurs, because I know that feeling now. And when I felt that, I'm like, dude, everybody deserves that. Everybody deserves the feeling of freaking empowerment it's like a puppet getting cut off the strings, man. It's like Pinocchio. I'm a real boy. Like, how happy was he? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, he went from being a puppet to all of, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, I'm tired of just dreaming. I'm excited to, turn dreams into reality. Cause I know also is one thing is, people will dream it, it's to them, it's still a dream. But they don't go all in, and it's definitely something that I don't want it to be a dream. I want to go all in. I want it to be reality.
And that's why I wanted to talk to you in the first place, because Tommy told me, dude, that you're risking it all. And that's a sign of someone, dude, that has courage. Whether you'll win or fail, who knows, success or learn, right? Mm-hmm. You at least did it. Like, how many people in this world will just sit around and just chit chat about how someday they'll start a business? How many people can actually say they did what you did and just saved up a little money at 25, quit their job and said, fuck it, I'm going to figure it out? I don't know many people who can say that, man.
Nope. And yep, you're right about that. There's not a lot of people that will actually do it. I can't think of any of my friends that have actually even done it. Any of my close friends, at least. And my buddy Tyler and I are going to be those people. Be the first in our group. That's for
pioneers.
Sure. And I'll let you know,
making waves.
There will always be those people who doubt you as well.
Always.
Which I'm so used to it now that I'm so used to it now, and I have so much confidence in myself.
Do you know what I say to those people?
Basically, cocky. I have a pretty cocky mindset that I don't even care. But
no. I don't call it cocky. Like, when you look, so I get called that all the time. I get called cocky. I get called arrogant. I get called full of myself. Dude, there's a difference. There's a difference between confident and cocky. Yeah. Cocky is talking and just talking. Confident is doing the work, putting in the action, showing in the results. Cocky is, I'm just running my mouth like I'm a badass motherfucker, and I'm really not. That's cocky.
Yeah.
That you can be like, oh, I'm when you can back up what you're saying, that's confidence. That's not cocky. That's my opinion. I mean, my mom calls me Mr. Big Head all the time. I look at her and be like, dude, I'm doing it. Like, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just keep it up is all I got to say. There's always going to be those people that hate you. There's always going to be those people that are doubters. And most of the time they're just jealous because you're doing it, man. That's it. Mm-hmm. They're trying to hold you back because it makes them feel better about themselves for not doing what you're doing, not taking the risks. Mm-hmm. So congratulations to you on that. Congratulations to taking it. Because I honor that. Like, I seriously do. I honor that because I know how hard that step was for myself. So I can understand how, but once it's done, man, it's done. Like, who cares? Yeah. So congratulations is all I got to say, man. If it's meant to be, it's up to you. You just got to go out and do it. So I want to give you a couple of things here, man. I want you to document what you're doing. Like, it's up to you. It's your choice, whatever, right? But I want to give you a few things to do it for free. Okay. If you want to start documenting your process, you go create a Medium account, medium.com, Medium, right? Medium account, it creates you it's kind of like a social network for bloggers, okay? Go out and create a Medium account, and you can blog on there free of charge. It'll create you a free portfolio or a free personal website that you'll just become a blogger on. And people will follow you if you put out good content. They won't if you won't. But what it'll do is it'll allow you to, generate a log of what you've been through. Anytime you learn something, take notes as if you were going to teach it, and then just do that. That's what I've been so happy I've done. Take notes as if you're going to teach it, then go out and teach it, and then you'll learn it better. Even if nobody else will take value from it, at least it'll set in stone a little bit harder, and you'll get so much more value out of what you just learned because you tried to teach it. Okay? Then YouTube's always free, man. YouTube's free. Go out and create a YouTube account if you'd rather do videos and teach the videos. create you followers eventually, views, and potentially you can make money off YouTube if you create good enough videos, right? So, and then you can do that anywhere in the world. Start there. So create a blog, create a YouTube, and then create a podcast.
What then, when you say Medium account, is that like medium.com? Is that?
Yes. It's like a green M is the logo.
Okay. Medium.com.
Yep.
The green M?
Yes, sir. If you just Google Medium, or you can go to any of my websites and it's listed, go to Trimble Media, TRMBLMEDIA, scroll down to the bottom and you'll see my Medium link at the bottom, and it'll take you to it. Okay. And then create a SoundCloud account, and you could have up to like an hour or 3 hours free of audio posted of you just teaching an audio of what you just learned, and you just post the audio. And if you start creating success on that, you can buy it. It's like $140 a year to host unlimited files on SoundCloud. I see. Yep. And that's what I would do. And that's what I am doing, actually, doing all of that.
Yeah.
Just teach.
One thing I have started is a YouTube account for sure.
Good.
A few of them for different things, you know. Yeah, you know, definitely. I like to use Evernote to take notes, so I'll definitely take notes, as in I'll teach it.
That's huge, man. And not only are you learning it better, but somebody out there in the world will get value from it. Maybe you'll never make money from it. Who knows, right? But at least you'll make new friends, right? Yeah. At least new people will get to read it. And success, like I said, man, success happens to those who are doers and action takers. And so you'll become, it'll happen. Things happen to those who create. So just start creating.
All right. For sure.
And that's kind of it, man.
It is a good way to build a network too. You know, sharing resources is a good, nowadays, you know, there's so much sharing resources out there, you know, why not, if you benefit, essentially, you know, I benefited something from the internet from someone else, you know, it would be a good way for me to give back and to do the same thing, for sure.
I agree, man. I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing the world a disservice, not teaching. Because, man, the internet is so powerful anymore, and the schooling system has failed us. So somebody has to pick up where the ball has been dropped. And I'm taking that upon myself to help others and asking others to help me in the process. And I would if I were you, man, I would take what I talked about on this phone call and do a blog post on it if you get a free second. You know, like, hey, this is what I learned. This is what I can do. This is a good idea. And anytime you get an opportunity, just teach. Because you learn more from teaching. At least I do. That's how I think. I learn more from teaching. I come up with better ideas. Like, I invented that Pinocchio thing on the spot. Because, I'm a real boy. I'm going to probably use that from now on. Like, just because I was talking to you, like, your mind starts to think differently when you teach. So, I don't know, man. Yeah. It's good. So, any other questions for me? Any other ways I can help you that you want to know before we end this?
Let me see. I do have one more question. Is what is your most favorite either book or video or something that you have read or seen that has motivated you?
Motivational? Okay. Do you want a specific skill, a mindset, a trade? Do you want like motivation to make you push forward? I've read hundreds. True.
There's a lot. There's a lot. For example, you know, I really like Anthony Robbins. It's good. It's nice. I like hearing him speak. What would you say gives you the most energy? You know, when you read something, it gives you the most, and whether it's a quote, or, you know, it could even be a quote or, I don't know, a video or something. What gives you the most energy?
Okay. In a lot of cases, it's Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk, both of them, because they do a lot of what I.
Who was the second person? Jeff, you there? I think that's it, guys.
I clicked. Nope. I clicked the mute button. Can you hear me now? Technical difficulties. I looked at the phone to click the time, and I dropped the phone back in my pocket and clicked mute. Way to go. What I was saying, man, Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk. Both of those guys, the reason I like both of them is because they're real. They're real ass dudes. Like, there's so many of these fakes and frauds and phonies out there that'll flash their Ferraris and all that stuff. Grant Cardone does a little bit of that. But the thing about Grant Cardone is man, he just drops so much freaking value at all times. And the thing is these podcasts, the videos and stuff that they're creating, if you're reading in between the lines, like, you start seeing what they're doing. And they give you it all free of charge on the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook Live. And you start plugging into that, you will see, like, you could watch Grant Cardone if you want to get better at sales and watch him just in the process of selling shit. Like, I was on his Facebook Live today watching him hustle, selling tickets for his growth conference that are worth $15,000. I saw him make a deal for 15 G's on Facebook. Like, we're in this age. Yeah, like, so you see the masters doing it. Like, Gary Vaynerchuk does podcasts, almost daily podcasts on Spotify. Like, he gave me an idea for marketing. He teaches marketing, which I own a media marketing company, right? He was in front of Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros did a seminar with Gary Vaynerchuk. In front of the whole crowd, he starts talking about it and helps this guy. The guy asked him, he's like, dude, how would I get more engagement on Snapchat? And he's like, dude, just ask the fucking people what they want. He's like, oh shit. He's like, duh. And I'm like, duh. You know, like, dude, why don't I start doing polls and questionnaires and asking people what do they actually want? How can I, you know, it's not about what you want to give them. It's about what they want to receive. Again, back with the Bitcoin thing, you set yourself in front of the market of what they want. So both of these guys, they get me pumped because they just give it away. And I bought every single one of their books. I spent an ass ton of money on them now since they've given it away. But redesign that, right? Give so much away for free that you don't even feel bad for spending $5,000 on Grant Cardone. He's probably giving me more value in just his teachings and trainings and stuff. Like, it's give more than you take, but me reading in between the lines, I can reverse engineer what Gary's done. I can reverse engineer what Grant's done. And Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk have given me so much success and power in my life because I know it works. I've seen it work. Like, I've watched it work. Like, if it's possible, it's doable. If it's doable, why not me? Right? That's what I said. Yeah. And I know it's possible because I'm watching it happen on Facebook Live. Like, how much more proof do you need? Like, that's it, man. Like, that's it.
The power of Facebook. And now they got Facebook Live as well. That's awesome. Well, I'll definitely be, keeping an eye on those two, Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk. I've seen a few of his videos, and it's definitely I definitely will on the road while I am learning and turning and burning. I'm gonna keep an eye on those two.
You should. Because, man, they practice what they preach, and what they preach is work their fucking ass off. And that's it. If you just put in the damn work, you'll get the result. So most people don't want to put in the work. Just do it, man. Just do it. You got this, dude. You've already taken the first step, so you got this. You already showed more guts and more valor than 99% of the world, in my opinion. You're doing it. So.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you just doing it. So, any more questions? I mean, I'm all yours right now. Any questions?
I think that was a really good. I think that's a good question to end on. Is definitely gives me a really big insight on my future. I feel like I can definitely see my future coming to life. Just from this conversation that we've had.
Good.
And
that's my goal, man. That's my goal. That's why I wanted to talk to you. That's my goal, is to take people who want it and maybe at least help give them a little push, a little couple steps forward, a little farther forward. I mean, I can't do it for them. And I say this on my website. I can't do it for you, but I can arm you with the tools to build your future mansion, my friend. Like, you know what I mean? I can't build the house for you. I can't build your dream for you. But I could hopefully point you in the right direction or give you a little kick in the ass saying, dude, just do it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'll ask the question. Like, do you think this was a good hour of your time spent today? Are you happy to get on the phone with me?
It was. I am indeed. I am happy indeed.
Well, awesome.
I definitely was, getting pretty scared, pretty worried about my move, but this definitely builds me up a lot of confidence. And
good. And I want to hit that, man. Before you go on forward, I want to hit that being scared. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say, being scared, man. This is it. Right? Being scared is a good thing. It means you're alive. But what you need to know is, man, even if you fail, you're not gonna die. Like, I think that's the biggest thing that scares a lot of entrepreneurs. Like, just getting started. They're like, what if I fail? Right? What's going to happen if you genuinely fail? Right? Like, everything blows up, the shit hits the fan. Right? You have your parents to move back to. Like, who cares? Right? So it's not like your family's there for you. It's not like you're going to live out in the streets and you're going to have to be homeless if you fail. It's not like somebody's going to come hunt you down and it's over. No, dude. Like, it's going to suck. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be depressed for a couple of days, months, because you learned. But dude, take the risk, because nothing, like, you file bankruptcy if you go nose deep in debt. Who cares? And the government forgives you on all your debt that you got involved in. Like, bankruptcy is not that bad of a thing. Like, you're not going to die, but at least you took the chance. You can swing for the fences. You can hit that fucking home run, but if you never swing, you'll never know.
Yeah, for sure.
And at the end of the day, you are going to die. So at least you swung for the fences.
True that.
Chance. True that. And I think that's the note we're going to end it on, man, because I think that's the point I want to drive home the most. Take the chance, because the worst that's going to happen is you start over.
Yeah.
So.
And, and that's true, man. That is true. And we all die eventually, some way, somehow. I'd rather take the chance than miss it.
Yeah. So, you get one chance in this life, man. Unless you believe in reincarnation, but you get one chance. Amen to that. I love that.
Like 50 Cent said in his movie, "Get rich or die trying."
That's it. Like, I mean, I don't do what I do for the money anymore. I do it for the freedom. But the money is a nice added benefit and helps to the freedom. But I agree. Do it to do it, or, well, I mean, another point, I guess, instead of ending it. I mean, like, the number one most complained about thing in a nursing home at the end of people's lives, they're over. The number one complaint thing about it is that they wish they would have tried it. They wish they would have took the chance. They wish they would have took the risk. They wish they had more time with their family. They'd have spent more time. So, like, build that you can spend more time with your family. Build that and don't be like them.
Yeah.
Do it different.
And I have read that as well, and I definitely don't want to end my life wishing. So
yeah, neither do I. And that's what I'm doing, man. And I think that was my biggest wake up call. Is I don't want to wish anymore. I want to do. Like, the process the love of the process of just doing is so fucking fun. Of just doing it, because you have a mission, you have a goal, you have a dream, you have a North Star. Like, that is so empowering when you have a mission to go to. Like, you just know you found your purpose and you have something to do. You know what you need to do. So do it. Anyway, man.
Indeed.
We just passed the hour point of this call, and I'm going to kind of say thanks, man, for your time. You know, and if you have any questions, you have me on Facebook. Yeah, and I'm gonna post this. It'll be on like iTunes and Google Play here soon. When I post it up, so I'll send you the link to that, and then you can subscribe to my podcast and listen to everything else that I've done and the other conversations. If you ever want to learn some more, or find some value in other people, and that's it. Yeah. So
awesome.
Thank you for your time, man.
Hey, Jeff, it was my pleasure, and I appreciate your time and you giving me this opportunity as well. So, thank you.
No problem, man. Until later.
All right. Until later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.